What is up, everybody? Right here, and we are back with my currently favorite survival game. We are playing Time Survivors. I officially have everything unlocked now. So we have every character, we have every map, we have every ability, we have everything we need. I'm just working right now on leveling everything up. What I didn't point out last time is there's actually this Chrono Forge, which we can grind money. So we can actually, you can kind of get the resources that are a little bit harder to grind in game, like the Guardian Hearts and the Time Crystals. The Guardian Hearts, you basically need to kill bosses. The Time Crystals, you need to do these Time Crystal events during the game. So they're a little harder to get and a lot harder to grind. Gold itself isn't that hard to grind, luckily. So you can grind out gold pretty easily, and then you can convert your gold into these resources, which is what I've been doing. And so I've been slowly kind of trying to work on leveling everything up. Today we're gonna play a little bit of Cleo. She is the last pharaoh of Egypt, quick on the draw with a pointy wit and true aim. I have almost everything maxed out on her except for wealth and reroll, but we have max health, max healing. We have the max weapon slots now, so now I can get 5 weapon slots on her. I have it on a few characters too, like Claire, but we already played Claire, so we're gonna run Cleo today. Cleo, we have a legendary crossbow upgrade, which I have maxed out. I actually haven't even seen or used this yet, so I don't know how good it's going to be. I hope it's good because I'm not really a huge fan of the crossbow, because if you've watched some of my other videos, you know how much I hate directional aiming. This is, I think, really the only weapon in the game that kind of does it. I know some of the weapons do it a little bit, but they're not as obvious. But the crossbow basically shoots in whatever direction you're facing. And then her special ability, she actually gets a pet that fights with her the whole time. So we're going to unleash the Furious Feline to aid in the battle. And then we can call him back to heal and things like that. When we level him up in game, you can do things like make him collect resources or make them more aggressive. There's a lot of cool things you can kind of do with Leo. So we're going to try out Cleo. We haven't really done her yet. She's not my favorite character in the game, but I think she is one of the more interesting ones, especially since she has a pet class. I wanted to play Tesla, but I don't have the max weapon slots on him yet. So I kind of withheld doing him for right now because I want to do the max weapon slots. So we're going to run Cleo. And then I have, as you can see, I have every map unlocked now. I've beaten the Dark Age. We beat Skies of Egypt. I haven't beat anything else yet, though. So hopefully that's what we're going to do today. Hopefully we're going to beat the Stone Age. I've made it to the final boss, but I wasn't able to kill him. Egyptian Age, I've made it pretty far. And then Ice Age, I've only played like once or twice, but we made it about halfway through. So we're going to try the Stone Age. You can see we've done 14 runs. Longest run has been 20 minutes and 8 seconds, and I literally died right at the portal. I couldn't kill the boss, but I also couldn't make it to the portal. So it was kind of a hilarious run. It would have been funny if I actually recorded it. But we're going to start off with Cleo and see how well we can do. So you can see this is a little tutorial about what her pet does. You can see he's pretty good. He'll just straight up jump on opponents and try to kill them. Pro tip right here, stay away from this beehive up there. If you aggro them in the beginning of the game, you will die. I don't think you can survive the bee attacks in the early stages of the game. Unless you have one of the stronger, maybe one of the stronger abilities, then you can. Oh, see, so now we get, what's cool about this level is it kind of starts out the same every time, but you get this huge horde of dinosaurs, and you're like, huh, I wonder what they're running from. But then if you think about it, prehistoric age, what do you think these dinosaurs would be running from? Oh yeah, a giant ass T-Rex. You can kill him, he's really hard though. But I think it's a cool kind of, I don't know what you want to call it, kind of cinematic experience for this level. You can kill the T-Rex. He's really hard to kill though. Okay, let's do the iron balls. Everybody likes iron balls. Let's make sure we get this chip up here. This will help early game. Nice. Early game is always the hardest in this game. Oh, and yeah, there's gonna be meteors that drop on us, which is gonna make this a little difficult. The Shrinker, I'm not a huge fan of the Shrinker. It's a tough weapon to use. You need to, I think you really need to level it up really high to make it worthwhile. But basically you have to stand still. You literally have to stand still, and it's going to put this little sphere in front of you, and then any enemy that runs into it will shrink. But it only has a certain amount of damage it can do, so it won't stay there for a while, which is a bummer, because I wish it would do that. But once it does like 100 damage, it disappears. And so sometimes that doesn't feel that useful. I'm not really sure. I kind of know what weapons I want. Like I want, we're going to waste all our rerolls here too. We'll take the flail. Like I want the flail, and I want, oh man, I just ran out of the zone. I want the sling. I think those are the main abilities I want. The flail's really good because it has the best knockback and kind of aggro protection in the game. And then the sling itself is probably the best boss killing elite killer in the game. It does by far, I think, the most damage. You're not going to see it on the DPS charts because it doesn't have like the huge AoE that some of these other weapons do, but you can you can noticeably tell when you're fighting a boss and you don't have sling. Okay, so we have one more ability. I'm not sure what we're gonna use it for yet, but now we get 5 abilities, which is nice. I think when I first played this, we might have only had 3 or 4. Having 5 is obviously a lot different, because then you get an extra passive too. Here, let's lower our tiger. Our tiger feels really loud. Okay, so we got our time crystal. Okay, so now our 5th weapon, I think, is up in the air. Now that I have flail and sling, I think we're pretty good on what I want to do. I'm not going to take Shrinker. We only have 1 reroll left, though, so I guess we're going to kind of get stuck with something. I'll try to pick a weapon we haven't done yet. You try not to get caught under those, because they do a decent amount of damage. I think it'll do like 50 damage if it hits you. Alright, well, I guess we're getting stuck with plasma or leeches. The leeches, I like the idea of the leeches, but they're inconsistent, I would think. Because sometimes they'll just run out on the map and they'll do absolutely nothing. Like, literally, you'll just see them walking around and they won't attach to anybody. And I'm not sure why that is. I'm not sure if they have a target in mind when they're released, and then if you kill that target, they don't, like, reattach. They don't try to go get someone else. So it's a tough weapon to kind of use. I don't know how reliable it is. But then every once in a while, when you're fighting these bigger, slower guys and they jump right on them, they're great. And then you're like, okay, cool. They filled up my health. I'm doing pretty good. So we can either do that or we can do the plasma gun. The plasma gun's a new weapon I unlocked. I'm not sure exactly how strong it is. But I don't know if it's worthwhile or if it's just a horrible weapon. So let's see. We have, I think we'll go with the leeches because we have fireball, we have crossbow, and we have sling. So I think plasma gun kind of fills the same role as those. So let's do the leeches. So you can see they'll run out, they'll attach to someone, and then if they live long enough, they'll start draining their health. We're going to try to get these guys so we can get some XP from these guys. These guys are cool. They act like Boos from Mario. They'll just follow you, but if you look at them, they stop, and then you can just kind of kill them, which is kind of funny. Like, they literally will just stand there and let you kill them. You can upgrade, once you upgrade these guys a little bit, they'll get faster. Let's see, so they're attached onto there, so let's see how our health does. 120, 121, 122. So you can kind of see our health going up a little bit. Let's do the extra ammo. That you can only level up twice, so that maxes out. So let's see how good these guys do. So 131, 132, 135. See, so once they attach onto something, they do a decent amount of job. Okay, let's do the flail. Okay, so we basically have all our weapons now. I think we're good on our weapons. I like our weapons. And then we have 2 extra damaging abilities, and then we have 1 defensive ability, which I usually like. I kind of like to run an even amount. I usually don't go with like a full glass cannon build. I'll go with a couple defensive like health regen, or things like that. And then I almost always try to take the iron balls so we can get 2 extra projectiles. That's obviously really useful. I think we're going to struggle a little bit early here, early game. Late game, I think we should be. I hope we're pretty good late game. Once we get flail leveled up and we get sling leveled up. See, this is why you need something good for these bees. Because they'll just swarm you. It will absolutely swarm you. Let's do the cooldown reduction. We can do that. Okay, and now I'm gonna, for my last one, I'm gonna try to take maybe another health regen, or I don't know, the shield, because now that I have 3 offensive abilities. Okay, let's do the max HP. Let's do... I want to make sure we get the flail leveled up the most, so... Outside of the bow, I think the flail is going to be our second priority. Or, not the flail, the sling. Because the sling's going to be our main source of damage, so we need to make sure that's strong. Okay, let's go get these relics now. I don't like, you don't want to hang out in these guys. They'll absolutely decimate you, so I would recommend trying to get out as soon as you can. I don't know if I'm going to take this or not. We'll see what it is. The golden apple is good. I like the golden apple, so we might take that. But I really hope that we don't get stuck being chased by golden gargoyles. That's gonna be the hard part. So hopefully we see a... Oh my gosh, the first one we got was an apple. Curse lift it. Totally worth it. I have done those before where it has taken forever to get to get an apple. It's been kind of crazy sometimes. Okay, so we have 1 relic. I don't know how many Cleo can get. She can maybe... I know some characters can get 3. I'm not sure if she's one of them. But there's 1 more relic I would like to try to get, and that's the one that's going to reduce the T-Rex's health by 30%. Those ones are usually pretty good. So we're going to run down to this relic over here and see what we can get. We need to see a magnet too. We haven't gotten a magnet yet. We actually have it. Oh, well, there we go. Perfect. Okay, let's keep doing the crossbow. All right, crossbow. We should get a good amount of level ups from this. Okay, 3 level ups. Nice. There's another magnet. There we go. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to get a chip so I could run through all these guys. Okay, we already have... we have the health. Let's do the crossbow again. I'm going to hold off on that last passive. Okay, what are you going to give me? We're going to pass on these. So I think there's only 3 relics in a game, too. So if you pass on them, I don't think any more show up. But sometimes I don't think the other ones are necessarily worth getting either. This is why I don't like the crossbow, because most of the time I'm not running into enemies, you know? So it's not it's not being fully utilized. That's why I hate those type of weapons, and I almost always avoid them. But unfortunately, Cleopatra starts with that, so you don't really have a choice. Okay, you're almost dead. Come on. There we go. Giant Cleopatra. Here we go. Good timing for this, too. Like, even your tiger gets big, too, which is awesome. That's a lot of XP now. Oh, man. Now we really need... Now I need to really get, Now we really need that, another magnet. I guess we'll run around and just pick all this up instead of waiting to find one. Okay, we can do... Oh, there's a magnet right there. Perfect. Okay, we'll do Pet is more aggressive. I usually take that one because, again, this game has magnets. So I usually just rely on the magnets to get all the XP. That's all. We gotta... Yeah, let's do the multi-shot. Oh, okay. So let's do the sling. So it's still just gonna shoot in front of us, but now it's kind of a wider range, it looks like. Do the flail. I was kind of hoping it would shoot all around, like to the sides of us too, but I guess not. Okay, let's get these Damascus steels. Okay, let's hope for the T-Rex one. No? Okay. Yeah, we're just gonna pass. Kill 200 enemies. This one might not be too bad. I think we can maybe deal with this one. Let's do this one. We just have to be careful. I think as long as we kind of just stay far away. Oh yeah, see, that was actually pretty easy. We already purged it. Yeah, we still have one more passive to take. I don't know. I've been kind of holding off on waiting for that, like, regenerative ring, but... I'm gonna have to take something here soon, though. Yeah, there's the regenerative ring. I think we'll take that, because we have the extra projectiles, we have the strength, and we have the cooldown. So let's go with one more kind of defensive ability. So now I should have a lot of regen, which is nice. Okay, let's do the strength. Do the strength again. We'll max that out. Sling. I don't think you need to take the XP item in this game, really. I don't know. I've never really had issues. I think you can max out your stuff without it. It is nice though, because once you max things out, you get I think you get 100 gold each level up, so it could be good if you're trying to grind gold. I think what I do wish about this game, and I don't know if they'll ever change it, because I don't know if it's a balancing issue or not, but it does kind of bum me that you can only get one ability to legendary status, and it's only the equipment that you start off with. So like with Cleo, you can only do you can only get her bow to legendary status. You can't get anything else. And we're getting a lot of we just got a lot of mushrooms, like 3 in a row basically. So I do wish you could kind of get everything else to legendary instead of just the one weapon that you start off with. But again, it could be, maybe it's a balancing thing. I don't know. Maybe the game's too easy if you get everything to legendary. It's because we officially have all our weapons maxed out now. So now we just need to upgrade our passives. This is why the flail's nice, because you can just kind of run into all these enemies and just kind of knock them back. Kind of run into these hordes and not worry too much about it. Alright, let's get max weapon cooldown now. Not as effective on the big boys, so be careful against these ones. We're probably gonna have to run out of here, I think. I'm gonna make a path up this way. Definitely don't want to stay between these guys. We may or may not stay here. We'll see how many enemies come towards us, because I know we have a huge horde all around us. I don't know if I want to get stuck here. Yeah, we're gonna bail. It's easier, if you want to farm the time crystals, it's easier to do it just through gold or go into the first level of the game. A lot easier to grind it then. But now that I know I can buy stuff, you usually get a lot of gold for getting far in the level, so... Oh yeah, we don't want to get hit by these. Alright, we're gonna have 348 health. That's quite a lot. I think really what it's gonna come down to now is if we have the DPS to kill this, to kill the final boss. Okay, let's do the heals. Alright, the only thing we don't have leveled up now is our regenerative ring. Which we might actually get if we kill all these rats right here. Yeah, so now we're gonna max this out. Alright, we are officially maxed, so now we're gonna get gold every time we level up. These guys have so much hit points. I don't want to be in the middle of them when we when we run out. It's pretty cool though. What I like about this game is every level is pretty distinctly different. Like it all has a little bit of a different mechanic to it, slightly. Nothing huge, but they all stand out a little bit. Like the Ice Age map has actual ice fields on the ground. So if you run through the ice, they're slippery and you move a lot faster and you just kind of glide across it. Like in other, you know, other types of games, like other platforming games, you run through ice, you're gonna start slipping and sliding. And then if you try to run through the snow, you're gonna go slower. So the terrain really affects you on that map, and it's pretty cool. Like it's a cool idea. You don't see that in a lot of Survivor games like this. They all just kind of have generic maps with no real hazards or anything like that. So it's nice to see that there's actual terrain that affects your movement and things like that. It's not just enemy attacks or pools of poison. It's if you actually run on the ice field, you're gonna go faster. If you run through the snow, you're gonna go a lot slower, so you need to be careful. Okay, so I think at 18 minutes is when the T-Rex shows up, and I think you get 2 minutes to try to kill him. I wish we would have gotten the have them get less HP, because I'm pretty sure that's one of the relics I unlocked. I kind of want to hold off on getting these. Well, we can get this mushroom, because it would be nice to clear some of these guys out right now. Obviously, I want to see the computer chip. So let's see, is it 18 minutes? Yeah, okay, so yeah, 18 minutes T-Rex shows up. Oh, nice, here's a mushroom. I love how he runs away too. He's so fast. Get back here. I don't even know if we can catch him. He's so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous how fast he is. Hopefully he comes back. Is he gone? Did we just run him off the map? I think we ran him off the map. He's done. He's not coming back. Did we kill him? I wonder if that counts as a kill. I don't think he's coming back. Yo, we literally scared. Oh no, he's back. Oh man. I was hoping he was done. Because for some reason I was thinking his HP was at the bottom of the screen, but it wasn't. Man, that sucks because we wasted so much time. Now I don't know if we're gonna be able to get him. We only have 45 seconds. I'm gonna have to stay on him. I'm gonna have to make sure our slings are hitting him. Oh man, man, that's a bummer. I don't think we're gonna kill him unless we get like that computer chip. Actually, we might. I'm gonna try to get my hardest to get the arrows on him. Oh man, he's so close. Yes, we did it! We got him! I'm not gonna be able to get all this gold though. Oh, with 3 seconds left, we did it, yes. And we scared him off the map too. Yes, let's go. We 100% at the level. We missed out on a lot of gold, but that's okay. But look, we got 18,000. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna buy like a couple of these hearts. And then, okay, we'll buy max out on hearts. Then we'll do the steel for the rest of them. Because you need the hearts to get these last weapon slots. So that's what I want to do. I want to make sure that I get like the weapon slots on most of these characters. So Neuro already has 5. Ned, let's get 5. Mulan. We'll do 5, and then I don't really know. Did we have 5 on? Let's get 5 on Anita, because I like Anita too. Cool. So there we go. That was fun. That was a successful run. That was a pretty good build. Like I said, I think you need Sling. Sling does by far the most damage in this game. Yeah, I have it maxed out. You can only really do duration, but it shoots at the closest enemy, slow but powerful. So highly recommend using this in most of your runs. It makes killing the bosses a lot easier. And then I think getting Flail is super important too. It's not going to... Oh man, we didn't look at our stats. I'm so sorry. We forgot to do that. Totally forgot to look at the stats at the end. But Flail doesn't necessarily do the most damage, but it's incredibly good for its knockback potential and then just killing the little mobs of enemies. So I do think those are the 2 most important weapons to get. The other 3, I think you can kind of do whatever you want to do. I would almost recommend getting those 2 though in every build you do. If you have 3 weapons, 4 weapons, 5 weapons, I would take those. Like if you had 3 weapons, you could go with Flail, crossbow or sling, and then like fire. That's probably a decent combo. Or getting like the Tesla. That's probably a good combo. The yo-yo I think is decent. The other weapons, I don't know. The leaf blower is an interesting one. I haven't figured out exactly what this does, but it says low damage, but critical hits hurt, and there are powerful interactions with other weapons. I haven't figured out what those powerful interactions are yet. I've played a couple times with the leaf blower, and I don't know, maybe I just didn't level up high enough to see what it does. Shurikens, they're okay. They're not amazing, but they'll bounce off the screen and they'll kind of hit everything. The leeches, yeah, the leeches are okay again. Like maybe a good supplemental ability if you have 4 or 5. This is okay. Like the poison fields, I haven't used these enough. I think I'll try using these a little bit more next time though, especially when we can increase like the bigger shots. And I'm assuming that works for this. I'm not totally sure, but we'll see. This is okay. Usually I like these type of abilities that circle around you, but I would rather just use the flail. The flail kind of serves the same purpose, I think, as the radioactive skull. So there you go. Those are just my thoughts on abilities. But that's going to be it, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. This has been some more Time Survivors. Check it out. I think when I post this, it just came out today. There's a prologue you can try for free, but the actual release of the game came out, and I think it's only $5. I think it's a great value for that price. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.